Aleese. I hope you're all doing well, staying healthy, social distancing, trying to keep busy and in good spirits. I do some of the programs at the library, and due to the current situation with COVID-19 and the library being closed, we've had to cancel our spring programs. So I am going to attempt to do some of those from home, and maybe you'd like to attempt to do them from home as well. And if so, feel free to take pictures and share them with us on Facebook or email them to us, because I would love to see what you come up with. So our May program, we were planning to do Morse Code Mother's Day bracelets. And these are special not only to give to a mother for Mother's Day, but really to give to anybody special in your life any day. Or maybe even making one for yourself with a special word or a name, or just something that is important to you, or something that you want to be reminded of. So Morse code. I actually printed the Morse code alphabet. We probably all know that it's dots and dashes. You can find the Morse code on the internet doing a Google search. I actually found this one from Encyclopedia Britannica and printed it. These are just little seed beads that I had left over from another project. These are actually a little bit bigger than the ones that I had in mind. These are size 6, but I think that they'll be just fine. Anyway, so like I said, I am going to definitely use turquoise. You can probably do this, several different ways, but the way that I have in mind for mine is I am going to use, for the dots, one seed bead, and for the dashes, 2 beads of another color. So I'm going to pick another color that I think looks nice with the turquoise, and maybe I'll use brown. So I'm going to gather up however many turquoise beads I need for the dots, and 2 brown beads for the dashes. I have gathered, I counted up how many dots I needed, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dots. So I have 7 turquoise beads. And again, for the dashes, I'm going to use 2 brown beads. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And I have 10 brown beads. I also would like to separate the letters with, ideally I would have wanted like another little bead, like a beige or something, but anyway, I don't have any of those, but I do have the beads that you put at the end of the bracelets or the necklaces, like clamp beads maybe. Anyway, they're just tiny little, these are just tiny little silver beads that you would put at like the end of your bracelet or necklace so the beads don't slide around. So I'm going to actually just put one of these in between each letter. So, and then I think maybe I'll also put one at the beginning of the word and one at the end. I actually find it easier, especially like when working with little beads. I just got a lid just to put the beads in here, so in case they slide around, then they, won't slide off the table, or I won't lose them. They'll all be contained in here. Next, you can use any type of thread that is small enough to fit in the hole of the bead that you're using. Some examples that I've used in the past, fish line, or even just special jewelry string. But I think that I would like to try and use embroidery floss for this. And I know that I'll have to, embroidery floss is usually 6 strands, so I probably will have to reduce it so it'll fit in the hole. Anyway, so next is just to pick a color string, or like I said, you could use clear if you want to string the whole bracelet with a background color or white. But anyway, I'm going to pick a color embroidery floss that I think might look nice with the turquoise and the brown. It's just, I'm going to make it extra long just because we are going to tie knots, and better have more than not enough. We can always trim it down at the end. So let's see, I am going to, that should be plenty. Okay, and I used, just a piece of embroidery floss, all 6 strands. Because the seed beads are so tiny, I am using a needle to string them on to the floss. I actually went ahead and made a knot at the bottom. We're going to end up, cutting that knot off at the end, but just to keep the beads from sliding off. So now we're ready to go ahead and spell out our word. And it's okay if it goes all the way down. We'll adjust it and center it, at the end. L, separated by the little spacer. O is the dash, 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 so it's those 6 brown beads. Spacer, V, and then at the very end, the turquoise, E. So now for mine, I can go ahead and take the needle off. I would like to have my beads in the center without sliding around. So what I think I am going to do is I'm going to tie a little knot at each end in the center here, so the beads, don't slide around. Just some other ideas. You could string the whole entire bracelet with like another color, but like I said before, I want my string to show, and I just want the Morse Code letters as the only beads. So anyway, I'm going to tie 2 knots at the side of each of the word, so the beads don't slide around. And then after that, I am going to put a clasp on the ends of the bracelets. These clasps come, it's a 2-piece set. There we go. So it comes with like the clasp and then the hook. So you need one of each of those. I am going to again tie 2 knots at the end of the word in the center of the bracelet, and then put a clasp, the hook on one end of the bracelet and the clasp on the other. So here we are. And I'm actually quite happy with how it came out. I tied, so the beads, stay in the center. That's why I tied 2 knots at the top and at the bottom. And then for the clasp, let's see, it's hard to see there, but that's the clasp and the hook. And I just went ahead and tied those on, and here's the bracelet.